when I read the script, I knew this is it. This is my comeback.
This is my ticket.
So Lost in Time 2019, I got Best Lead Actor Kalasha. 2020, Best Lead Actor in Wonderland.
And to be honest, I get access to a lot of the films. Yeah,
So
even I find myself now talking like this.
Maybe you might be the next Shah Rukh Khan.
I knew you were going to say that. Huh?
Yeah. You never know.
George Moore.
Yes.
Cheers, brother. Thank you
Cheers.
for coming on to the coffee pump. Normally we're supposed to give coffee, but then it's hot. It's hot today.
It's hot today.
What's going on in Nairobi, Bana? With the heat, we're all melting.
I don't know what's happening. They're saying that we're going to have El Nino, but I think this is La Nina or something, equinox, something like that.
Exactly. This is completely the opposite. Thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate it. As most of my close friends know, it's sort of an open secret. I've always been fascinated with theater, acting, film, and cinematography. We connected online, and I was really fascinated to see how far the Kenya film culture has evolved. And you are at the forefront. And I thought, why not reach out, try and connect with you? And you were so open, you were so welcoming. And I thought, people say actors are stuck up.
They usually say that, but at least me, I'm different because I believe in when someone is trying to reach out to you, most likely he has something that you guys you can do together, and I always have that open-minded kind of thinking whereby I'm open to any idea, to any stuff. I'm always open.
Yeah, slightly ahead. Yeah, if you just push it, a bit. Is that better?
Okay.
Perfect. So, with that, it was maybe just to preface this. When I grew up, theatre was always at the back of my mind. I went to St. Mary's. I partook in theatre plays when I was in the UK. Anytime I could get, I pursued theatre. Between the masters, between working two jobs, it was always something that fascinated me. However, growing up from a very traditional Desi background, it was a bit of a difficult stretch. In fact, it was off the reservation, me going and telling my parents I want to pursue acting. That being said, my mom and dad have been fairly supportive, even with these YouTube ventures and so on and so forth. They always encourage creativity. But there wasn't another Mwindi kid that I could show them as a reference. Look, he's done acting. He's become a successful person. This is the DNA I can follow and pursue this hidden passion. And I've always looked at the industry from the outside perspective, always wondered what's going on. And when I followed you on Instagram, what I noticed is you really give good insight into what goes in the background, what goes on your day-to-day job. And that's instantly why I connected with you. A fellow friend of mine, I won't get into who she is. We've talked about this, but she forwarded me your profile and I was like, this is fascinating. I need to meet George. And we've been trying to set this up for a long time.
I appreciate so much.
But maybe for those people that are not aware of you, let's start. If you could just give us a quick look into who you are, what you currently do.
My name is George Moore. I'm an actor, father, and I love acting because I believe that was I was meant to do from the word go. So initially I wanted to be a soldier, but
wow.
Yes, I wanted to be a soldier initially.
Okay.
But it didn't work out. So I usually say acting sort of found me.
Really? Yeah, Maybe we could talk a bit more about that. How acting is not something for anyone in Kenya, for anyone living here, it's not something that just hits you. It's a very different career path. How did you stumble onto that?
Okay, let me give you a sneak preview. I remember back in the day when I was in Shule, I used to do drawing and all that. I used to do some drawing. I used to go for exhibitions, stuff like that. So when I moved from Ruiru, I moved to Nairobi to stay with my brother.
And Ruiru was where you were born?
That's where I was born. That's where I went to Shule. So after Shule, I came to Nairobi to stay with my brother.
Yes.
So I used to do some drawings here and there. So a friend of mine was like, okay, you're good at it. So I'll hook you up with a guy. Then maybe you guys can talk and see what will happen. So
you're also an artist?
Yes. So a friend of mine hooked me up with a guy from a local publisher. And they were looking for an instructor. Illustrator.
Okay.
So the guy we met, and the MD of that publishing company was like, fine, okay, send me some of your works. Let me see it. So I did that. So after that, they called me. So I went with my drawings and all that. So they told me, now here we are. We want you to illustrate 5 books. Kids,
Interesting.
storybooks for 5 kids. So they gave me those books. I went home. I did illustration within 1 week. And then Nikarudisha.
So maybe just on that, sorry to interrupt, but basically what that involves is they give you a story, and it's a kid's story, I'm assuming.
Yes, a storybook
and
for
then you
young
have
kids.
to visualize it.
Yes, I have to visualize it, whereby I do some illustrations.
Okay.
And then they go and put some stories in it. So after that, they gave me the story. I did the illustrations. I sent them. They paid me. So, well, at it, I used to stay at home a lot at my brother's place at Parklands. So evening Gionis, I used to take a walk. I used to at least to take a walk to unwind and to breathe. So I used to take a walk from Parklands all the way Museum Hill to Tao. So one day I passed through Kenya National Theatre and I was like, what's happening there? So I used to go there, just chill. I started going there every evening after doing my drawings at home. I used to take a walk. So one day I decided, let me just get in here and get to know what's happening. So nikaingia Kenya National Theatre, I sat somewhere. We used to have a big tree somewhere at the middle. So I used to go there, sit there. And I was like, fine, this is interesting. Huh? So I started doing my drawings there.
At the theatre?
Yeah.
While watching other actors and everyone in play. Interesting.
Yes.
And how old were you at that time?
I think I was 204, 205. I think I was how many years? 20-something. I think 25, 26.
Okay, so it wasn't like you took up acting from when you were a teenager or very young.
Actually, when I was in Shule, I didn't like acting, actually.
What?
Me, I was more into sports, rouge, basketball, stuff like that, and drawing.
And drawing. Interesting, man. So that transition. Okay, so you're sitting at the Kenyan National Theatre. What made you think, like when you saw, what exactly did you see? I'm trying to visualize young George Moore and Akauko Kenya National Theatre.
Yeah.
There's something that
I started going there. Every evening I could go there with my drawings. Sometimes I do some drawings there. I sit there. I started interacting with actors there. Hey, hi, what's up? Hey, mambo, fitted, something like that. So one day, a director of a show, now he used to own a production company back then for stage plays, for school plays. So I was seated there. He came in. He was like, hi, are you an actor? I usually see you seated here with some drawings. Are you an actor? And I was like, yes, I'm an actor.
You just took that opportunity.
Yes, I'm an actor. He told me, fine, come with me. I followed him to the office and he gave me a humongous script like this. Boom, go and read that script. We have a show in 2 weeks. I think one of the actors had opted to stop, to not do the play. Yeah. So I was like, wow, what do I do this now? He gave me the script. He told me, go and read it. We have a show in 2 days. So I took the script. I went home. I read it whole night. I was like, where do I start? So the following day, we went from some rehearsals and stuff like that. And then the show came. I was on stage fright. I remember the first time when nilingia kwa stage like this, I gave the audience my back. And you know,
and in theater, that's the worst thing to do.
And my friends, I remember a friend of mine is called Ogutu, Kevin Ogutu. He was like, Jujimo, turn around. I was like, hey, I turned around. And that's how I started acting after that. I was like, okay, fine. This stuff is awesome, man. Okay, let me try it. It wasn't the best, actually. I think it was one of my worst performances.
So I mean, okay. You know, what I admire about that is opportunities are present at every single point. You just have to be aware that they're there. Yes. So the fact that you took that chance and jumped onto it, I really admire that about you.
Yes.
On the acting front, when you had that first experience, so you had no technical knowledge, no one trained you.
I was just so green.
You just winged
so it. So green. And I was like, oh, let me just do it. And I remember I decided to do it and we did the show. We did like 2, 3, 4 shows. And the director called me, told me like, now that's not what's supposed to happen, but I'll show you. So pole like that, that's how acting kind of sort of found me. And I was like, this stuff is good. So we did the show. After that, we did another show. And after that, I started going for audition for extras.
Okay, so maybe on that now, you've done a couple of shows. You found that this is something you ring true. The director was kind enough to tell you, well, this is not what you want to do. I guess if I reflected to my own experience, you as a person in your everyday life, you have certain movements and motions that you make subconsciously that you're not fully aware of.
Yes.
So when you're on stage, you may be winging your hands in an emotional scene where it's not necessarily required. Did the director then take you through steps in how to educate you, how to control those movements,
Yes,
your
he
voice,
did.
your tone?
Yes, he did voice, intonation, projection. Even my fellow actors were very helpful. Like, George Mo, this is how we do it. So this is what you're supposed to do. On stage, go at the center. Don't give your audience the back.
Right.
Project. So they were very helpful. I remember the director took me through how the do's and the don'ts when you're on stage. So pole like that, and that's how I found myself acting. Just
Fascinating.
like that.
Then now you go into auditioning. How did that come about? Like who sort of you've established, okay, aside from art, this is something I want to venture into.
Still, while I was doing acting, I was doing my illustrations every now and then. I could do my illustrations, send them pole like that. But I remember eventually I decided, like, wow. So I would say acting is kind of was pulling me pole.
It's like karma. Something just here.
Pole.
Come.
So eventually I found myself, I stopped doing those illustrations completely. Yeah.
Kabisa.
Yeah, I stopped.
Do you still draw today?
Once in a while when I want to unwind, or when maybe after doing a heavy project, maybe mentally and physically draining, I usually do some.
It's a good way to sort of take your mind
it's
off
more
things.
of like when I want to de-roll.
Right.
I do some painting, yeah.
Perfect. So you've done, now circling back to the stage show, after that, you start doing auditions.
Yes.
How did the auditions come about to you?
Whoa, it was tough. I remember I did like over 1,000 auditions without getting picked. Yeah. I could walk, although I remember I used to walk from Kenyan National Theatre all the way to State House Road, sometimes Gong Road, where there's film studios are. So I used to walk and go for auditions. And sometimes uchukuliwi, and I kept going. I kept going for auditions. And eventually I got a small role at Makutano Junction, whereby I had 2 lines only.
Really?
Yes, as an extra, but featured extra, 2 lines only.
So what was the first show you got featured on? Can you say that?
As an extra, Makutano Junction.
Makutano Junction.
Makutano Junction was my first screen show as an extra.
Just 2 lines?
2 lines.
How much were you paid for that, if you don't mind me asking?
I remember it was like 4,500.
And how long?
It was a lot of money to me. It was a lot of money. I was like, whoa, this is it.
This is it, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
So from Makutano Junction now, what was the next steps? What ended up happening? Did you say, okay, this is something I want to do. Let me get an agent. I'm not too aware of what the structures of actors are here, but what's the next steps you did now in order to pursue this career? Because it seems like after that financial reward
kind
that
of
you
boosted
got,
me.
It kind of boosted you,
give me morale to keep going.
Yeah.
So after that, I decided, okay, fine, now this is what I want to do. So I started going for shows, watching plays, acting classes, workshops. I started going for workshops. Every time if I hear there's something like happening with actors, I could go there, just sit and learn. And I kept sharpening my skill pole and be on the lookout for any auditions. So by then there was nothing like an agent or like a manager.
Solo.
It was just
Self-hustle.
guerrilla warfare. You just go.
Every
on your
man
own.
for himself, God for us all.
Yes, back then, yeah.
Okay.
So I remember back then, you just go for an audition, you keep trying, you keep going. Sometimes you unachukuliwa, sometimes you don't get picked. But there was that fire in me that was burning. Like I kept going.
Because
I kept believing I can do this. This is what I want to do. It was kind of pulling.
I can imagine.
Kind of pulling me, pole. And eventually I was in it fully. And the reason why, that fire kept burning in me and kept giving me morale to keep going. Even if I didn't get an audition, I didn't get picked. Even if, sometimes I used to do some pro bono shows whereby you don't get paid.
You're just doing it for community theatre.
Yes.
Alliance Française, National Theatre and so on.
There was something in me that kept telling me that, do this. This is what you want to do. There was that fire burning in me.
Did you grow up watching film?
Yes, I remember back then we used to do at the market whereby we used to call it Watoto Kachini. You remember where at the market they used to have the
big screens.
Yes, I remember watching the Rambos and stuff like that. I was a big fan of those shows.
So who was your favorite actor growing up?
Back then.
Yeah.
I remember back then was the Rambo and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Whereby
Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger,
yes. Cause, and then Jackie Chan, and because of the martial stuff. Yeah.
They're very fun stuff. So I mean, film was ingrained in you from a very young age, I guess, but not to that extent as to when you were in it. Yeah.
Yes.
So Makutano Junction, you've done over 1,000 or so auditions.
Without being picked.
Maze, and being rejected, I think you have what we call mental calluses. You're a very tough job. Some guys.
I kept going.
I want to ask you the same. Have you been rejected 1,000 times by mamas as your young age? And he just says, "Oh, it's okay. There's another thing that's coming on."
I think more than that.
So you don't let rejection put you down. You just keep going.
Yes, yes. I think it's something. Maybe I don't know why I picked it. Maybe for my father or maybe for my uncles. There's this something in me that even if I don't get it, that's to mean I can do it. You see, it doesn't mean that's the end of the world.
Right.
Even today, even if I don't get something right, they start always something in me that if I don't get it, I'll get it. So I'll get it. You have to keep going. You have to keep doing. You have to learn from your mistake. The reason why I didn't get it, there must be something I didn't do. So you go back to the drawing board and learn what I'll work up, and then you go for it, and you give it a shot again, and eventually you end up doing it.
So what advice would you give to then young actors and actresses who, in the face of rejection, just fall out and say, maybe this is not for me? Whereas you, who've done it over 1,000 times, you still keep going at it. What advice would you give to someone coming up and tell them, listen, this is, just hang in there?
First of all, I'll tell them, believe in yourself. Because in our business, it's all about confidence. You have to believe in yourself.
Yes.
Completely, you have to believe, I can do it. This is what I want to do. I want to be an actor. Even if I get rejected 1 million times, I'll do it. So believe in yourself. Focus. Discipline. Consistency. Keep doing it. Even if you don't get it, keep doing it. And eventually you find yourself there.
So just persevere.
Because keep doing it.
I guess if you think about it, it's a personal, in a way, how do I frame this? If you look at the auditions you go for, there's no way but to help think it's a personal attack when you get rejected, but it's not. Maybe you're not right for the role. And I think it gets to a lot of people very quickly.
Yes.
So maybe the casting is calling for a 6'4" person and you're 6 foot. But then it's just something with your physical stature, and you can't take that on you. That's not something you can do.
Sometimes maybe they're looking for a different kind of person. Maybe age-wise you don't pass for that role.
Correct.
Maybe height, maybe color of your skin, maybe even the facial structure of your face and all that.
Right.
Because when they are casting, they look for so many things. Maybe even your voice. Maybe there is someone with a different kind of voice.
Yes.
Color, complexion, and all that.
So a lot goes into play. It's the nature of the game. Don't take it personally.
Don't take it personal. Just keep doing it. If you won't get it this time. Next time you'll get it. Even if you don't get it, next time you'll get it. Keep going. Keep pushing it.
I appreciate that insight, brother.
Keep going.
So, circling back to now your career, when would you say you started getting more consistent roles, and what was the first major role that you had that opened up a lot of avenues? Because you said you did a lot of smaller extras.
Featured extras.
Features extra.
Small lines we just wipe.
Seriously?
Yeah, you just wipe, You just have like maybe you're doing a scene in a market and here are the main characters. You are like, you just pass.
Unatembea tu kwa nyuma. Did you ever try and sneak in a line?
You can't do that.
You can't do that
because director they are usually very strict. Yeah. Why would you do that? Yeah,
exactly.
It's not part and parcel of the script. So you just wipe.
Correct. Yeah. So you did all these extras. You did a couple of shows.
Yes.
When did you sort of get your main feature film debut where you had more than just a line or two? What was that?
So after Makutano, after that, I went for an audition, whereby I was called for an audition. You remember there was a show called Wash and Set?
Yes.
It was a salon thing. So I went for the audition now. Wash and Set. Back then.
Was it on NTV?
NTV, yes. So I went for the audition. I went home. And I was like, if I get it, fine. If I don't get it,
it is what it is.
Going. So after a few days, I got a call. Hi, Judge Mo, you got the role. We want you to play this role, And I was like, wow, this is it. Now I want to do it. So after that, I got that role. It was more of like a major supporting act.
Okay, and what was the role dictating? Like, were you like a husband, a gangster?
I was playing a husband to the owner of the salon.
Okay, so it was a recurring role.
Yes, it was a major supporting role.
Okay, and how long did that go on for?
And then we shot Wash and Set for like over 4 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah, over 4 seasons.
That was quite long. And so which year was this, George?
That was 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. Then we took a break. For 2011, we didn't shoot. Then we took a break for a whole year. Then 2012 again, we shot the last season. Yeah.
So in 2006 is when you officially entered the industry.
Yes, 2006. Yeah.
Okay.
By those doing those plays, stage plays. Yeah.
And maybe to ask more on that, what would you say is the difference between now film acting and theater acting? As an up-and-coming actor, did it shock you in the differences?
Yes. There's a big difference between screen acting and stage acting. Because screen acting, it's all about here. It's all about your emotion.
Your emotions,
It's all about
the
your
camera's
emotions. You
pointed,
don't need to shout. Just talk normally the way we talk.
Correct.
And like stage, you have to project, you have to exaggerate, you have to throw your hands.
It's larger than life.
Yeah, larger than life. So
Right.
that's the difference between screen and stage acting.
So when you come to screen acting, would you consider yourself a method actor? Or there was another, we were speaking about this earlier. Meisner. Would you consider yourself one of the two? Do you prefer leaning more towards one way? And maybe you could explain for the audience watching is what the difference is between method and Meisner.
Most of the time, I prefer using Meisner, because Meisner, whereby you just use your imagination. But sometimes when I get a script or a role that dictates for me to go deeper into character, I usually embrace method acting, which is, it's not easy to embrace.
You live the life, yeah?
You live the life.
24/7 to amplify
yes,
that.
before shooting, you do your own research. I remember when I was doing Lost in Time, back then I had to go and meet patients, mental illness patients.
Correct.
I had to go and sit down, listen to them, what they narrating their stories. After that, I met a doctor talking to them. I could even go observe them, their body language, what they do, how they react to small things. So that's sort of method acting. Lost in Time, I actually applied method acting fully.
And we'll get to that. So after you did the series, I think you said
Film,
yeah, 2010, right, is when the last season ended.
Yeah, Wash and Set.
Yes.
Yes.
So after that, what did you transition into? Because I've seen your portfolio; it's quite diverse. You've got military action in it.
Yes.
You've got detective work. You've got mental illness in place. So I mean, I'm trying to paint out the map of where you went from there. Ultimately, to 2019, and you know why I'm going to bring that up eventually.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to point the map to. So after that show on NTV, where did you then transition into?
So after doing Wash and Set, I was playing a husband, a bad husband, a wife beater and all that. So after the show ended, after that I went for another audition. I did a show called Borderline.
Okay.
I got the role as a gangster.
Yes.
Borderline. So the transition wasn't easy, but you know, as an actor, always, I usually apply this method on me. After I do a role, I usually take some few days or weeks or even a month or some few months to de-roll.
Just to detox, because
we call it de-rolling.
De-rolling.
So I usually, after doing a role that is so heavy on me, I usually take like a month or so. Maybe I travel or maybe I go home, Ushago. I switch off my phone and all that. I just de-roll. I de-roll from that character before I get into another character.
Is it because you attribute some characteristics of that character that you may bring into another role?
Yes. So usually it's advisable for an actor when you do a role, try to de-roll from that role before you start another role. Because for you not to have the same replica of this role to another role.
So it seems fresh. It also
so I usually take my time, de-roll, go somewhere, maybe travel, maybe go do some kulima and all that. I switch off my phones off mitandao and all that. So I just de-roll, I get off that character before I get another character.
That's fascinating. I've actually never heard of anyone doing that, but it makes sense, because if you spend so long in a role, it's only natural.
It can affect you, actually. You can even end up being that person.
Yeah, that personality.
You start even behaving that way in the street or with your kids or even with your friends. So it's always advisable as an actor, after doing a role, find your way how you can de-roll from that role. And go back now to George Moore now.
So maybe on that, what did your family and friends think about this new trajectory in your career? Because I'm assuming there was no actor before you in your family or your relatives that had done it.
was no
What was their take on it? They're like, George, unafanyaje? Like,
I remember when I started, they were like, okay, let's wait and see what will happen. So when I started, they were like, this is what you want to do? You want to be an actor? Okay, so I started pole pole. After that, things were so thick whereby there was no job, there was nothing. And then my brother, I remember back then, he used to support me financially. I remember back then I used to stay with him at
Yes.
Parklands, yeah. So he was like, hey, bro, I think you need to figure out something else. And I remember I could tell him, okay, fine, I'll think of something else. So every time he could support me financially, even my mom. But they were like, hey, bro, I remember they called me for a meeting. They were like, hey, bro, not in a bad way, but I think what you're doing, it's not working.
It's not working.
It's not working. So what do you want to do? I was like, let me think. I'll let you guys know. They were like, okay, you think because this acting of yours,
it doesn't seem like there's any financial benefit to it.
Yeah, it's not. Because I remember back then it was thick. Yeah, I remember we used to get paid for 70 bob per show.
What?
Yeah, 70 bob, yeah.
70 bob per show?
Yeah, stage play. I remember there's a show we did for
How do you survive on 70 bob?
Back then, it was not easy. I remember we did a show whereby we invited all schools. Only 2 schools came for a show. Yeah. So we had to pay the hall, the hall, pay workers, pay sound system, pay what. And the only money that tuliachwa now, we could only divide among ourselves. And everybody took 70 bob home.
Okay, so I can see how that you've been told you're spending all these hours for 70 bob a show. Maybe you're doing 2 shows a day, that's 140 bob. Yes. If you jab somewhere.
And I remember my brother used to give me fare every now and then, okay, fine.
So those must have been very, very tough times. And you were in your 20s at that, right?
Yes, I say in my 26, 27 now, 28, around there.
Yeah, so
it wasn't easy, yeah.
It also messes with you because sometimes, I guess, especially with men, when they get paid a lot more, you get a certain level of confidence.
Yes.
Because you're able to do things that you want to do. You're able to live the life that you want to live. So your family's approached you now. Mm-hmm. They're telling you, okay, ebu reconsider.
Think of something else to do.
But then now we'll
support you.
Now we're in 2023 and you're still in acting. So what happened?
So after we had a meeting and they were like, you guys, you need to think of something else. I was like, okay, fine, give me time. I'll think about it. Then I'll get back to you guys and tell you what I want to do. But I kept going for auditions. I kept going for shows. Sometimes I remember I did like 3-4 shows pro bono, whereby no pay and there was no payment. But eventually I remember I did a show and I was like, hey, what is this I'm doing? Because now I'm becoming a burden to my family. My brother is always supporting me, giving me money. And I was like, okay, let me get back to them. I called my brother. I was like, okay, fine. You remember you guys, you told me to think about it and tell you what I want to do with my life. And I was like, fine, I'm done with this acting now. It's not going anywhere. Yeah. So I took a sabbatical for like 3 years. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, 2016, 2017, 2018. It was hectic. I decided this acting is not working for me.
So what were you doing in those 3 years?
I was just chilling. I was finding myself. It was a sabbatical. I was just finding myself, thinking like, is this what I want to do? If I want to do it, I'll go all the way. If I have to stop, I'm stopping it, and I don't want anything to do with it. So I took a sabbatical for like 3 years, and I remember my brother wanted to conduct me to a job in Dubai, something like that. It was like, hey, there's a friend of mine in Dubai. Yeah? Can connect you some stuff. And I was like, okay, fine.
Let me take it.
And I even applied for my passport, ikatoka, and I was ready to go. Completely, I was ready to go.
Like you had just put acting behind?
I was just done with acting, yeah. It wasn't working for me completely, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, for 3 years, I took a sabbatical for 3 years, like to find me and to get to know what does Judge Mo want to do. And eventually I decided like this acting thing is not working for me. And I was kaput, that's it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's in 2018 now.
Yeah.
Now the reason...
That's 2016, 17, and 18.
So, in between 2018 and 2019, in 2019, you won an award for the best lead actor. I believe it's the Kalasha Awards.
Yes.
You wanting to quit, you winning best actor. Something happened in between there. Did you get a genie bottle?
So I remember after... that was 2019 now. I
Yeah.
was just seated at home and I was just chilling, waiting for me to go to Dubai and do
Ulikuwa
those
unangojea-
manual jobs.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
I was just ready to go now. I was just waiting for my brother to connect everything. I even had my passport was ready now to connect everything. So I remember one day, an afternoon, a friend of mine, Ed Joe, called me. He was like, hey, Jujimo, what's up? It's being amended. Unaendeleaje? I was like, niko fiti. Where have you been? I was like, hey, me, I'm easy. Kwani siku hizi you don't act? I was like, oh, bro, I'm done. He was like, for real? I was like, yes, me, I'm done. He was like, okay, fine. Anyway, I was just calling you. There's a script I want you to do. And I was like, hey, bro. Me, I don't want anything to do with acting. He was like, okay, fine, bro. Let's do this. Tomorrow, what are you doing? I was like, I'm easy. Kindly, can you come to town? We meet for coffee and we talk. And I was like, okay, fine. Me, I'll come, but I don't want to do that script. Me, acting, I don't want to do.
Sitaki
He was like,
kabisa.
okay, fine, you just come. We'll just talk. So nikaenda the following day, tukaongea. I think we sat there for like 5 hours, just talking, everything I was. And I remember telling him, you know what, me, I'm done with acting. I don't think this is what I want to do with my life. I was like, okay, he just sat there listening to me. I was like, okay, fine, Judge Mo, I understand, but now just take this script, just go and read it. I'm not telling you to do it. Just go and soma it. I was like, okay, what do I need to soma it? He was like, a humongous script like this. I think it was almost over, how many pages? 100 plus pages.
Was this for Lost in Time?
Lost in Time now, yeah.
Okay.
So that's the producer now. He gave me the script. He told me, just go and read it. I was like, okay, fine. Okay, if you say so.
Yes.
Nikaibeba, went home. And I remember, after that, nenda tu nikaidump kwa meza. And it took me like a week or so.
You just left it there.
Yeah. It was just there. And every day, nikiamka, I could look at it. I was like, okay, sir. One morning, I remember I woke up and I was like, let me read this script. And I took the script, the first page. Cha-cha. And I kept going. The story was so awesome and it was so deep. I kept going. I remember I read the whole script. The only thing I did was just to go get food, come back.
So you just read the whole thing.
The whole script.
You
the
didn't
whole
stop.
Script. Yeah, I didn't stop. And I remember venye nilimaliza, I was like, wow, this is a good script. And I called him, I was like, hey, Joe, what's up? I read your script. He was like, what do you think about it? I was like, it's awesome. He was like, awesome, what do you mean? You will do it? And I was like, yes, let's do it. When are you planning to shoot? Can be in the next 3 weeks, I'm planning to do it. And I was like, okay, fine, let's do it. Me, I like it. I love it. He was like, okay, fine. I told you, just read the script, let me know. After that, we met again, of course, of pre-production, costume. And I was like, after that, I met him. I was like, hey, Joe, the way I've read your script, I think I need to prep. So kindly, as my producer, I want you to organize for me whereby maybe I can meet patients, mental illness patients.
Because the movie does take into account the mental illness aspect.
Yes. So he was like, fine, I'll organize for you. So he did that.
Yeah.
He organized for me for those sessions and meet daktari, psychologist when he's talking to patients. So I could go there at Madare Hospital, just sit and listen to their stories.
Right.
That was before a shoot there. And I went there for like a week or so, daily. I used to go there, just listen to them. And their stories were so deep and so heavy. And those stories were heavy on me. I remember the first day after going for those sessions, I went back home. I couldn't sleep. Yeah, because those stories, that everybody was talking, their stories, their journey as a mental illness patient, all that. And I remember it was heavy on me. The first day, I couldn't sleep. Then the following day, I went there. I went back again, and the daktari looked at me. He was like, are you okay? I was like, yeah. He called me kando. He told me, like, what you hear here, don't carry it home. Just listen. Otherwise, it will affect you.
It will.
Yes. So that's when I decided, okay, fine. I will just listen, but I won't carry it home. I'm not kweka kwa roho. So I did that for a week. Then after that, we started shooting. And it was awesome. It was an awesome experience. And I remember there was this young man, I think he was in 20s. He was in campus. And he narrated his story. Wow. was not easy.
So it hits you, and I guess as an actor, you have to use the tools of your environment to express your emotions. So the stories that people have,
Yes.
the experiences that you live, it's sort of always encouraged as an actor to go out and do all these things, because then it adds, I guess, different colors to your palette. And that's now what you took into it.
Yes. There's something I always say, as an actor, you have to have two things: art of observation and art of listening.
Yes.
You have to be very observant within your environment and all that. That's what you need as an actor: art of observation and listening. So, because if you observe day-to-day life, you learn a lot. And
Yes.
just art of listening, just listen
Correct.
and observe. Yeah. That's what I did for that show. I could just go there, listen and observe.
Awesome.
See how they react to small details,
Right.
their body language.
And then you mimic that.
Yeah.
So Lost in Time happens. What did your brother say when you told him now you're getting back into acting? Or that Dubai is now out of the picture? What did the family say?
They were like,
George, what are you doing?
who hawezi saidika. And actually they decided they are not going to support me financially. Yeah. They were like, okay, fine, we give you an opportunity, but it seems like you're not ready for it, so you're on your own. But nicely, they were like, okay, fine. Is that what now you want to do? You're on your own. Of course, they were very disappointed. They were like, really, again, you want to go there? And I was like, okay, fine, I'll do just this one film and go. He was like, they were like, okay, fine. Is that what you have decided to do? We want to help you, but you don't want to be helped. You're on your own now.
Correct.
Yeah.
So Lost in Time comes out, and the awards come out.
Yes, that is 2019 now.
Leading up to that, were you getting buzz that this is your year, this is the year you're going to win?
The first time I read the script, as an actor,
Yes.
usually as an actor, when I read the script, I knew this is it. This is my comeback.
This is my ticket.
This is my comeback. And actually, some of the scenarios in that script was happening to me in real life, like financial troubles, so many things happening in your life. You don't know where your life is going. So I kind of related to it personally as George Moore. And when I finished reading the script, I knew this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. I knew it.
And it just connected the dots, it came out?
Yes, I knew it. I remember after reading it, I took a walk just to clear my head. And there's this kind of sound kept telling me that this is it. This is it. This is your script. This is your comeback. It's not about money. It's not about anything. But I knew it. This is my script.
So that's, I guess, in a way, subconsciously, the desire to be an actor, that part of your soul, that karmic effect was pulling you towards this script.
Yes.
So you shot that, you win the award. When you win the award for the best actor, was it for Lost in Time?
Lost in Time, 2019, I got an award for Best Lead Actor in a Film.
Amazing.
And we got like over 10 awards. Best Lead Actor, Best Director, Best Cinematography, Best Costume, Best Story. We got 10 awards, yeah.
That's one thing that you were so close to giving up. Imagine if you took that ticket and you
Yes.
went to Dubai, right? It's just a split decision. And
But Sajid, there was something. When I read that script, there was something in it.
It just
and I
told you.
felt, this is it. There was
for you.
something. There was something. And the Dubai thing,
it just
kind of
disappeared.
vanished there, and I was fully there, and I felt it. I felt it like, this is my comeback. This is my comeback. There was something. There was like a voice that kept telling me, this is your comeback. This is your comeback.
So how did you feel that when your name got called out? I saw the white suit you were wearing.
Yeah, and dancing, and all
And
that.
dancing all the way to the stage.
Yeah, I remember it wasn't easy.
And all the people sort of coming up and supporting
all the
you.
way. Yeah, I remember in my category we had awesome actors. Who actually was some of the best actors in this country. So I remember I was just sitting there and I was like, I remember I said a small prayer. Just sitting there, I said, God, may your will be done. If this is what you want me to do, and this is if this is my award, may your will be done. A small prayer to just sit there at that auditorium, just sat there and said, God, may your will be done. Yeah. If You have decided this is my award. Amen, Lord. I just sat there. And then, of course, there were so many categories before my category. Then tukakuja the best lead actor. So Gina,
I saw the video. I could tell you
and
when
then
you
I
were
remember the lady who was presenting the award. And the winner is, she took like over 4 minutes. And the winner is, and I was like, may your will be done. And I was like, George Moore.
Was your family there with you?
No. But they watched it back on TV, on TV.
And how was their reaction when you won that?
They actually, I remember because my phone was off because I knew everybody's going to call me. Everybody was trying to call me, my phone. So the moment I took the award, after the ceremony, I funguliaed my phone and missed call.
Just loaded, yeah?
The first one actually was for my mom. He called me, congratulations, thank you so much. I was like, I remember when I even gave my speech, I said, I know my mom, you're watching. Thank you so much for believing in me. And this is for you.
Amazing.
Yes.
So let me ask you, George, did that award and did that film change the trajectory of your career?
Yes, it did.
It opened up more roles and opportunities?
I remember after that, 2020, I was nominated as the best lead actor in Rwanda.
Yes.
That is Rwanda International Movie Awards. I went there. I got the best lead actor.
Amazing.
Award for that.
Was it also for Lost in Time?
Lost in Time, Bado. Yes. So Lost in Time 2019, I got best lead actor Kalasha. 2020, best lead actor in Rwanda. Lost in Time, Bado. And after that, I got so many jobs, so many gigs. And then I remember after that, I got Kina, a role from Kina. I remember they called me, they were like, George Moore, wanted to come in. So just send me your monologues and stuff like that, and some profile pictures. And I did that, and immediately they called me after 2-3 days after award. They were like, we want you on the show. And that's how I got my role in Kina. So
amazing.
That award opened so many doors for me, even today. Yeah.
I mean, it took you, what was that, from 2006 to 2019? How many years is that? That's my math is poor. How many is that?
And that was my
13,
first
14
nomination
years.
and my first win.
Maybe a question on that. So, as talented as an actor you are, just from... Okay, so I work in sales. And with sales, the basis is the more people you know, the better your product can sell.
True.
And the better service you offer. Because ultimately, you're selling to people, right? As an actor, what I noticed and what I picked up on is you got called by someone in your network that told you, George Moore, Niaje, what are you doing? Let's meet for coffee. I've got this script. As talented as you are, would you say it's important to network? Because Kenya is still a very small market. There's some actors that firmly believe I'm the gift of God. And you know what? Opportunities will come to me. What would you say to that? Do you think networking is very critical and pivotal?
Yes. Of course, you need to network, and then you need to put yourself out there.
Yes.
You need to put your work out there. You need to have some links. Put your work out there on social media.
Correct.
Interact. Go for workshops, acting workshops. Go for stuff. You need to interact. You need to network fully.
You need to build your brand.
Yes, you need to build your brand.
Yes.
And then again, as an actor, you need to keep sharpening your skills, because if you do a role that is amazingly, of course all the directors, all the producers are watching, and they'll see like, hey, Sajid, he's a good actor. So next time they'll call you for an audition. They'll call you, hey, Sajid, where are you at? There's a role here, we want you to come and try. So as an actor, you need to build your brand, and you need to keep sharpening your skills day in, day out.
Right.
And you have to network. Go for acting workshops. Go for functions. Network.
Just meet people, network.
Meet people,
exactly. That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
And I feel...
Don't just sit there and say,
sit there.
I'm a good actor, so job will come and
Apana.
find me.
No. You could have the best product, you could have the best service, you could have the best talent, but if you can't market it, guess what?
Because I believe talent only counts for, is it 10%?
Oh, yeah.
So 90% it's about hard work
and grinding, consistency, yes.
So you can't just sit there and say, I'm talented, so I'll just sit there.
Right.
No, you have to put yourself out there.
Right. Yeah. So one thing I can comment on is, and if you don't mind me saying, is a criticism of what I've seen, not of you as an actor, but of the industry as a whole, is I started following you on social media.
Yes.
And to be honest, I get access to a lot of the films that I wanted to see. It's not until we started engaging and then you gave me some niche websites where I could go and then access your films and then see the kind of work you've done.
Yes.
Now, obviously, it's very different with what you're doing with Showmax, but there's a lot of your earlier work, and I believe it's the same for a lot of actors.
Yes.
Would you say that's a challenge that we're experiencing in Kenya as a film industry, that we don't have the right... So we spend all the money on production, but marketing is a huge percentage of it. That's how you get eyeballs on it.
Yes.
And I feel that's lacking because we have such talent here, but if you ask majority of the population, do you know of any great Kenyan films? It's very secluded.
So I think as an industry, as filmmakers in this country, we need to sit down and think about it, how we're going to market our shows, how we're going to distribute our shows.
Yes.
Because Kenyans out there really want to watch our shows.
Correct.
But majority of them don't know where to watch it. So it's something as filmmakers in this country, maybe we need to go back to the drawing board.
Correct.
And come up with ways and mechanism and policies how we'll market our shows and distribute our shows, whereby every Kenyan and our audience can access it.
Right.
It's a challenge actually we're facing at the moment, but I think eventually we'll head there. So I hope and pray that as filmmakers in this country, we can sit back and brainstorm, work together, collaboration, and come up with ways how we will put our work out there and easily accessible to our audience.
Correct.
And distribute it fully, because that's something that is it's a challenge to us.
So I think with the introduction of Netflix and Showmax, there is a lot of investment in local talent and local shows.
Yes.
I believe there was one big show that was shot in Kenya. There was a Netflix phenomenon. It was about superpower.
Yes.
I forget what the name of the show is. However, do you think those benefit actors here, or do they cannibalize the market and take over everything?
Yeah, it kind of benefit actors here and even as an industry as a whole. Because the moment those films or those shows comes here, helps actors. You see, they get jobs, they get opportunities, they get to learn. Even our crew members get to learn, even a cameraman. Even as a country,
everyone steps up their game.
Yes, even as a country, kind of put us on the map worldwide.
Yes.
So it's a good thing when those films come.
Right.
They shoot in this country, and of course, at the end of the day, they pay tax even to our country. So it's a good move.
It's a good move,
and I hope more will come, more and more, because they will end up creating jobs to actors, either upcoming actors, even crew members, even Wakenya. Because when you're shooting, you need cleaners, you need
it's a whole production.
It's a whole production.
It's not just
a 360 thing.
360
it will benefit everybody.
Correct.
Even as a country, because they pay tax.
Yes.
And after that, even I as an actor, I have to pay tax.
Correct.
So at the end of the day, I contribute to our economy.
So do we have like an actors guild in Kenya?
Yes, we have a Kenya Actors Guild in Kenya.
Okay.
Which I'm a member.
Okay. Yeah. And are there a lot of benefits that you, in order to be part of the Kenya's Actors Guild, I think with SAG-AFTRA and the US-based Actors Guild, you have to say a minimum number of lines on screen in order for you to be part of the member. Is it the same in Kenya?
Of course, in Kenya, you have to prove that you're an actor. Maybe you have done stage plays, or you have done screen, or you have done stuff. So of course, you have to prove like you are an actor. You have done this something or somewhere before.
Okay.
So as long as you can prove you're an actor, maybe you send your clip or your show or your resume or your filmography.
Yes.
And that's how you're an actor. So you can join. You just pay a registration fee, and after that, annually fee.
And are there benefits to joining?
There are benefits, there are benefits there, because Kenya Actors Guild will safeguard me as an actor.
Okay.
In case of anything on set, they are always there to safeguard me. Let's say if I do a show, and then maybe there's a problem between me and my producer, or me and my whatever production house, Kenya Actors Guild will
come in. They're the medium for that.
Come in and negotiate and sort things out.
So what are you working on, George, right now? Because I'm looking at your Instagram. There's a lot of stuff from military action to detective work. What are the current projects that you can tell us about that you're working on?
At the moment, there's a show I'm working on, which I can't say because of NDA.
Yes.
I can't disclose, but it's one of the best shows that you Kenyans will love, and something that Kenyans will embrace, relate to it.
Yes.
And
you'll keep us posted on that.
Sit back and don't switch the dial and wait for more.
I think what I'll do is, George was kind enough to share with me a list of films that he has on the websites. I will link all of them in the description. I feel they're worth a watch. I've got my weekend cut out for me because these are all your old shows that I'm going to watch. I want to sort of transition now to that same question where you were earning 70 shillings per show, and here you are right now. The question is, do you think people can make a comfortable living in acting in Kenya today?
Yes. Like me now, that's the only thing I do. That's what feeds my family. That's what pays school fees for my kids.
Yeah.
Yes, you can comfortably live as an actor in this country.
There is a lot of opportunity.
You'll get paid well. And I mean well.
Lamborghini
You
well,
don't need-
Bugatti well.
Well, but you don't need... Like me now, look at me.
Yes.
That's the only thing I do. Yeah. I mean, like, I work from Monday to Friday.
Yes.
From 1st to 30th. So when you get paid as a guy somewhere working in an office, the same thing goes to me. I get paid every month. And I pay my taxes.
Yes.
I pay my taxes. Yeah. So I'll urge those people who want to get into acting, please do.
George.
Utalipwa vizuri. Na utaishi vizuri. Yeah.
So maybe that's where I can segue now into my next question. You've known about me, you've known briefly about my history. Acting has always been at the background. It's just a seed that's been planted.
Yeah.
And ever since growing up, and I believe it was from my granddad's time, where every Friday night I used to sit on his lap and basically we used to watch World War II movies. So we used to watch like A Bridge Too Far, Citizen Kane. And then with my dad and my uncle, Clint Eastwood, Robert De Niro, Midnight Run, Unforgiven. I always had this fascination with seeing myself on the silver screen. I'm 32 years of age. Is it too late for me?
No, it's not too late. It's not too late.
So what would you advise me? What are the steps I need to take in order for me to break into the silver screen, as you would put it?
First of all, I would urge you to join a casting agent.
Okay.
And of course, I remember you have done stage plays, so at least
Yes.
there is that background.
Yes.
You have that foundation as an actor, because it's usually for an actor to do some stage plays to give him confidence and stuff like that. Those are
Even
the
these
basic-
cameras pointing at me.
Yeah, those, yes.
In a way,
Those are
people
basic.
switch off, right?
Yes, so those are basics. At least you have done stage plays. So I want you, go for it. It's never too late. Go for it. I remember someone like Morgan Freeman or Samuel L. Jackson. He got his break, I think, in his 40s or 50s.
Yes.
You know that?
Yes.
So it's never too late. So
Harrison
go for
Ford,
it.
I think, was 34,
Something
35.
like
Yeah.
that. A major role that propelled him to big screen. So go for
Yeah.
it. Or you start going for auditions. Actually, what I'll do, I'll even give you some numbers for casting directors, so you can just send them your monologues, send them your monologues and your pictures, your
Yes.
profile pictures, full and all that. That's all you need. And after that, be ready to go for an audition. Be ready, kuanguka 1,000 times, wake up, kuanguka 1,000 times, wake up. So, and that's all you need. So I'll urge you, keep doing it. If you feel this is what you want to do and you feel this is what you love doing, go for it. Go for it. Yeah. If you
this
feel
is something-
like there's that fire burning in you and this is what you want to do with your life, go for it. Just go for it.
I
You
wonder
never know.
if my boss sees this, what he'll say.
Go for it. You can still
Yeah.
do it. You can still do it. You can still continue doing your job as a sales person. You can still do acting. Yeah.
Maybe
Like me,
yeah.
me acting to me is full-time job.
It's now your
full-time
life.
job. Yes, full-time
Okay.
job.
Maybe a bit more controversial question. So I've looked at, I sort of follow all the actors guilds. I follow all the audition calls. As a Mwindi in Kenya. Sasa siwezi sugarcoat, but
Just say it.
a lot of the roles are not tailored for me, based just on the description. Do you think that is changing? And the reason I'm asking is, if I look at a lot of windies that are doing anything to do with film and TV, it's mostly structured towards stage shows, or theater. Very small personal productions for community theater, Alliance Francaise, Oshwell, and so on and so forth. I have not seen someone of my skin color do it to the level of success who has been born in Kenya. I mean, maybe
They're
always say,
there.
"Hey,
They're there. Kina Vaishali, you know Vaishali?
Vaishali."
Kina Eve D'Souza. They're there. Actually, there's a film I did last year with Vaishali.
Yes.
She's a Mwindia. Somewhere to Stay. She was playing the owner of the house.
But here's the thing. to someone who's very well embedded in the industry, yes, I can see how you can spot those.
Yes.
But you see what I mean? From someone who's sitting on the outside, who watches film religiously, follows the newest trends, has personal favorites. It's a few pocketed people, right? But I guess it's changing.
It's changing.
Is that
It's
what you're
changing.
saying?
Actually, every now and then, I usually, when my casting director sends me some sides,
Yeah.
I usually see we are looking for a Mwindi, we are looking for a Caucasian, something like. There are so many actually,
many,
and
okay.
actually, our scriptwriters.
If you want, I can speak Kikuyu.
Yes,
Neke
yeah.
modo.
Actually, our scriptwriters,
Yeah.
I want to say they're doing a good job.
Yes.
They're doing an awesome job.
Inclusive.
At least now, when you read the script, you get there will be a role which is maybe from Somali, for Mwindi, for Mzungu.
There are all these
for an
personal
albino.
stories
Yeah,
being
they are
told.
for an albino and all that. So at least it's changing, at least, unlike before. So there's so many roles out there.
So what
Not
I'm-
only for Mwindi, for different people. Yeah.
Different cars. So what I'm getting from you is, first, you just need to get your feet wet.
Sorry, yeah. Yes.
You need to get in the industry.
Just get
Just
there.
get there. Audition.
Audition.
Hone your craft. Do
On your
acting
craft and
classes.
keep sharpening your skills every now and then. Go for acting workshops and something
Yes.
like that.
Speaking of acting workshops, you mentioned Charles Ouda.
Yeah, yes, Charles
He was
Ouda.
actually former from St. Mary, so I do know him through that.
Yes.
He also does acting classes.
Yes, acting.
Are there any other folks you would recommend if I need to go and hone my craft again?
Yeah.
If I need to go and just sharpen my skills, even for beginner actors, novice, intermediate, advanced, is there a few people that you have in mind?
Yeah, we have Charles Ouda, we have Nice Kidinji, then we have Carol Coach.
Okay.
They usually have some acting masterclass acting
Yes.
for that. And then once in a while, MTF Academy, that multi-choice academy, they usually organize some workshops for actors,
Right.
for DOPs, for
Yes.
sound,
Yes.
for directing,
Yes.
stuff like that.
So there's stuff like that too.
Yeah, so it's out there. Usually, they usually have those classes
So
once in a while.
hone your skills, improve your network, take a dive,
And believe in yourself.
and believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself fully, because in our business, confidence is all you need. Nothing else. You need to believe in yourself.
Yeah, because you can
and
feel
go
like it's
for
a
it.
very personal attack when someone tells you you're not right for the role.
No, it's
but
okay.
not.
You just keep
Sao,
going. Yeah.
sao.
Keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to comment on is your voice. You have a very powerful voice. And as soon as we first spoke, I was like, hey, Kaka, George. Radio. Have you ever thought about doing radio?
Yes. I usually do some voiceovers. Yeah.
Oh, you've
Once
done
in a
that
while.
before?
Yes, so many for radio voiceovers.
I was
So
thinking
many.
maybe-
Even for animations. Yeah. There's
video
a
game
there's a
characters.
project I did for Deutsche Welle. For I think it was a kids show, something like that.
So you
that
you've got a
was,
very raspy,
That was when
strong
that
voice.
was 2021. Yeah.
Okay.
It was an awesome project. Yeah, it was an awesome project. I usually do voiceovers and radio theater sometimes. And
Right.
then I even do some narrations for maybe for a docu, something like that, or maybe for maybe something like Dawa or something like that, maybe for edutainment, something like that.
Right.
Maybe somewhere they just listen only.
Right.
Even there's a book I did for audiobook for a
Right.
guy. So he wanted to have an audio book. Yeah. If you can afford to buy the hard copy,
Yes.
you can just listen to it. So I remember I went there and just do Soma, everything like that. So for those people, maybe you're driving, you just listen.
Okay, fantastic.
Audiobook, yeah. I usually do some voiceovers and stuff like that.
I think you should do video game characters.
Yes, why not me? I'm always open
yeah.
for any ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah, probably because you've got that. You like boy, yeah, like God of War. I was going to say God of War. If would they ever do a God of War in Kenya?
It's something I usually try to capitalize on especially when I'm doing a scene. Because as an actor, there's something called voice intonation. You have to learn how to play with your voice. You have to learn when to intonate, when to do that.
Yeah.
And as an actor, if you can master your sauti, you're home and dry.
Yeah, that's because that's what people don't realize.
You're
This is
home
your
and dry.
toolbox.
Yes, you're home.
It stays with you your whole life.
Yes,
and
yes.
people want to train bicep to build their biceps, but then they want to train chest to build their chest. However, your voice, you never train that.
And there's something. If an actor learns or masters his voice completely in a nice way, because if you're an actor and you learn how to use your voice in a scene, believe you me, Sajid, day in day out, you always take out. And just read your lines politely and learn how to play with your voice.
Yeah.
Learn how to play with your voice. That's all you need as an actor. Doesn't mean you have to have a deep voice. You can have a tenor. You can you can have soprano. Just learn how to play with your voice as an actor. That's all
Even
you
I
need.
find myself now talking like this.
That's all you need as an actor.
Kaka, so as we wind up, I have a few questions for you. Sort of just like quick fire. Is there any local director that you want to work with?
Wow.
You can give me. You don't need to
I
give me
think-
one name. You can give me one or two names.
I think I have worked with, I think, almost all directors, but maybe few.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to work with any director in this country, even out of this country, because I remember, I know, every time I meet this director and I work with him, I learn something. Next time if I work with a different director, I learn something, because I usually go on set with an open mind.
Correct.
Whereby when you work with this director, you learn something from this director, because their technique is totally different. So I learn something from that director, and when I go to another director, I learn something. So I'm the kind of an actor. I usually look forward to work with, and I would like, and I hope I work with all the directors, because I know I will learn something from them. Because their technique is different.
So is there any, let's say, Hollywood-based director that you've always been fascinated by and want to work
I
with?
think I would like to work with Christopher Nolan. Nolan.
yeah,
I like
that's-
his thinking. When I watch his film, it's different.
He's he's a subject matter expert. He's really good.
There's something in it. It's
Yeah.
like a mystery in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like and love to work with him.
Have
Christopher
you-
Nolan.
Do you follow Christopher Nolan is a big one?
Yes.
Have you watched any of Quentin Tarantino's movies?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Also, he's an awesome director. Awesome.
Apparently, he's doing his last film, so I'm not sure if we can get him before that.
Christopher Nolan, Quentin Tarantino, Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's this guy, the Equalizer director. What do you call him?
Equalizer, the one with Denzel Washington.
Yes. What is his
I
name?
forget who the director is.
Also, I would love to work with him. He's an awesome director.
Maybe to touch on that. So, as a Kenyan actor, are you getting exposure to international roles, or is that the job of your casting agent?
That's the
or
job of my manager.
your manager.
Yes.
And you find there are more opportunities for international roles coming?
Yes. I remember, but it's been amended. The last time I did an international movie, I think the last time I did international movie was 2020, early 2020.
It was a short film, right?
It was a short film.
Yeah, I remember
yes.
seeing that.
So usually my manager and my agent,
Yeah.
that's their work to locate for roles.
Okay.
So the only thing is for them to look for those roles. They just call me, tell me, hey, Judge Mo, here there's something. Here are the sides are the scripts. Do them, record them, send them to me.
Okay.
And that's it.
Perfect. So, second question on that similar train: who are actors you would love to work with, both in the local scene and international? If you could give name of one or two actors in the local scene and in Hollywood, that you would be like, if I were across this actor, I can die happy.
Kenya. I think I'll have to work with all actors.
This is political answer.
I'm looking forward to work with
Anyone and everyone.
anyone and everyone.
Politically correct. What about international? International, we can shit on them. They can't do anything. Yeah?
International, I would like to work with Will Smith. He's an awesome deep actor, of course, and Anthony Hopkins.
Yes.
Anthony Hopkins, and who else? And how do you call this guy?
Will Smith chunga though, utachapwa.
What do you call this guy? Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, he's
a
fascinating.
deep actor. He's a deep actor. He's an awesome actor.
I've read his
awesome actor.
I've read his autobiography, and I will say, just the ups and downs he went through.
Which is normal.
I'll share with you his book. It's a fascinating read.
Yeah.
So you have those three actors. Now let's come when it comes to movies. Today, you as George Moore, after all the experiences you've had, what would you say if you're going to put a CD in space and send it out, and you want people to know, if they find this in the future somewhere in space, that these three films are the best films we've ever made, what three films would you recommend?
My films.
Like any film, film.
For people to watch.
Yes. You can include your films too.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yes.
Shawshank Redemption. And Legend of the Fall.
Legend of the?
Fall. That is Brad Pitt when he was young and Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, I've not watched that. I need to watch that.
What do you call? Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah,
those three.
Saving Private Ryan. Have you watched that?
It's an
Oh,
awesome
Jesus
film,
Christ.
awesome
The
film.
opening scene of that.
And Kenyan film, Nairobi Half-Life. Nairobi Half-Life and what else? Rafiki. An awesome film also.
Yes.
And another one, East, the film I did back then. I think that was around 2015. Yeah.
Right.
We did that film, me and the late Olwenya,
Okay.
the actor who died. It was an awesome film.
Awesome films.
Yeah, awesome film.
In fact, we can link your films in the description. I've said that, but we'll put them down. There's recently, just before we conclude, I'm not sure if you've heard of this, and obviously we can cut between the time, but there is
Have you ever watched anime?
Have you watched anime?
No.
Like these characters, Naruto, Japanese anime.
No.
Kaka, with your voice, you can be like a superhero villain. You can play both sides.
Come up with that, we do it.
So
I'm easy, Sajid.
that's something we need to do. Put
Yes,
George,
easy.
Imagine-
And all you need is a studio like this, and that's all.
imagine a Maasai-based anime.
Yes.
different gods
Yes.
fighting each other. Hey, we
That's
can do
all you
stuff,
need.
Anna.
Yeah.
And then Kanjo over there taking toll charges and everything.
Come up with a script. Let me know, and I'm ready to.
Let me.
And we do stuff.
I'm trying to find the name of this show, but basically,
Kenyan show.
it's a Kenyan short film. So I can't find it, but maybe I can dictate how the show goes. So
It's a film, short film.
short film. It starts off with an askari getting a very hefty tip of 1,000 bob. And he works for a very rich person. It's somewhere in Muthaiga of the sort. So he looks at the 1,000 bob. Wow, Nick on 1,000 bob. Now today I'm going to enjoy. So what he does is he takes a bit of money. He has 1,000 bob and some change. So first he tokas work. He gets a haircut, really nice haircut. Then he gets a nice suit. And then he uses a taxi to go to a really nice restaurant. And then the waiters are looking at him like, Sasa him jama, what's this guy doing over here? Then he orders the most expensive wine, the most expensive food, and the bill is like 30,000-40,000. And Ashiba, and then he's like over there, he's eating everything.
The soldier guy.
And the funny thing is, his employer is sitting on the other side of the table. He's like, what's my askari doing over there? Wow. Then when the time for the bill comes, basically they hand him the bill and he says, Sina pesa. So they look at him, they chapa him, they take him to the askari. They take him to the police. Now the police is like, okay, what's his case? He says this guy overate at a restaurant, he didn't pay. So he takes that same 1,000 bob, whatever he has left, he gives it to the police officer. The police officer is like, Toka, enda nyumbani. So it's a guide. I think the film is called a guide to fine dining in Nairobi, or something of the sort.
A Kenyan film.
It's a Kenyan short film. It was so brilliant
I'll look for it.
because the 1,000 bob basically took advantage of the system. Whatever was left from the 1,000
All you
bob,
need to do is to hunger the police
Yeah.
and does it. And
I'd highly recommend anyone to
I'll
watch
look
that,
for
and
it.
I'll share with you the
yeah,
link. I've
please
seen
do.
it.
I'll look for it.
But George Mo, Kaka,
Eh,
I'm hoping to see a lot more of you in the industry. Hopefully, we'll be able to do something together. It was really kind of you to do this show. You didn't have to. For me, it's meeting a celebrity, man. It's been
I appreciate also
awesome.
you having me and at least sitting here and sharing our ideas, something like that. And it's awesome.
It's awesome, bro. I really appreciate that. So hopefully, we'll be running into each other a lot more. Thank you so much, Kaka.
Looking forward to do something with you.
Yes.
And we can always sit down and brainstorm and come up with something.
Whenever you have an open
Because
set.
I can see
yeah.
there's that fire in you, that creativity fire in you. You need to open it. Let it flow.
I appreciate it.
Don't shikilia it. Let it flow. Let it flow. Ifungulia, you never know. Yeah.
I appreciate that, bro.
Maybe you might be the next Shah Rukh Khan.
I knew you were going to say that. Huh?
Yeah. You never know. Yeah. You never know. Yeah.
Next time you're having an open set where we can come, we can do some YouTube in the background with you.
Yes.
Bro,
Actually,
please let me know. We'd love to see.
Or you do some recording.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
with
me
you,
amazing.
a day in the life with George Mo.
Actually, we
walk
can
around.
do that next week. Actually, the only thing I need to talk just to my producer, and that's when I tell him, him. There's a friend of mine who is doing a story on me. You just want to do some BTS on me, BTS behind the scenes.
We can do that, just like a day in the life where we go and see what it's like to be an actor. We'll touch base, we'll communicate on WhatsApp. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Thank you, my brother. I really appreciate
so
it. Asante sana.
Nashukuru sana. Na hiyo usanii, jiachilie. Let's do it.
Tutajaribu.
Let's do it.
With your guidance, obviously.
Usiogope.
So, thanks, guys. This has been Coffee Pump. Tune into the next one. Catch you in the next one. Bye.